Nee, der ist ungefähr so wie der Felchen. Kennst du den Bodenseefelchen? Nein, der ist so 50 Zentimeter lang, ungefähr 50 bis 60 Zentimeter lang. Also davon gibt es ja genügend.
Einmal. Let's see. Bye.
Die Weizen hat es ja noch ein Nöcher.
Hi guys.
Okay. Ja.
Let's see. Who are we hearing on the phone?
Hello, Kenny. Good morning.
Hi, Cecil and Leanna. Great to hear you. Let's see. Wilfred, who are we hearing in background noise here?
Hi, Kenny. Good morning.
Hi, Shiva.
I think it's Moana and Matias. Hunter. That's
Oh, Matthias. What? Let's see. Hold on.
it. That's okay. I mute him. That's okay. I just did that.
Okay. I'll just put turn off your mic. Okay. Let's see. I'm gonna do a roll call here. Let's make sure we have everybody. Okay, John Eric, you're there. I see you. Can you hear us okay, John Eric?
I am here. Good to
Okay.
be here. Thanks, Kenny.
Perfect.
Where's my camera?
Matthias and Moana, let me just, I'm calling them as we speak. Okay, Matthias and Moana, can you hear us? Maybe. Hold on. Okay, I'm sending them a message here. Okay. Frank will not be on this morning. Let's see. We've got Shiva on the phone, and I'll introduce you guys all when we come back here. We got Lucas. Lucas, you can hear us? Oh, I've got our translator. How are you?
How are you, Kenny?
Good to see you. Do you want to tell everybody who you are so they know who you are?
Eu não entendo muito, Kenny, eu em inglês. Então, eu tô aqui gravando a aula. Eu acho que você também não vai entender.
Okay. You can understand okay though when they present?
Ok.
Okay, perfect. Perfect, we'll be okay. And then let's see, Cecil and Leanna are here. That's wonderful. Okay, let me see if I'm missing anybody. So I've got John Eric, Matthias, I've got Lucas, Milton. Let me see if Milton's going to jump on. Let's see, hold on a second. Thanks for your guys' patience. Are you jumping on? Okay. And Wilfred, you may see a couple more people come into your queue.
That's okay.
Jumping on. Okay, and I'm glad you're taping this because this will be a good recording to have. So let's see, who do we, so Young, you're on, right? Okay, I think.
Yes.
Okay, so Young, thank you. That's awesome. Okay, so Young is helping operate her father's account. Her dad is serving as a mission president for the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints in South Korea. And so Young has kindly helping her dad and jumping into the doTERRA mix, and her dad is a platinum, and she is helping maintain his account for the next few years while he is serving for his church, which is awesome. So okay, so we've got, let me do one last, Wilfred, Milton Marin should be jumping in just a minute. Okay. Well, let's do this. Let me make a couple introductions real quick. And Wilfred, is Idalise with you as well, your wife?
No, Idalise, I mean, we're so busy right now working. She's talking to some leaders right now.
That's great.
I'm
That's
sorry.
perfect. That's perfect. So I thought this would be a great a great meeting this morning, and I really appreciate Wilfred's willingness to share with everybody here what I think will be a really educational meeting and very motivating. Let me tell you how this came about. So a few weeks ago, when we were at convention, Wilfred came into, we were sitting in some box seats at the Vivint Center where the Utah Jazz play for the doTERRA convention. And Wilfred, who is in the business of robotics with his stepfather, he said, man, Kenny, I really want to go full out in doTERRA. I want to just go crazy with this. And I feel like this is the time. Well, it's so funny because Elise Shedevy, who is, as you guys know, is in your upline, in our upline, and as a triple diamond, she came into that booth literally like 5 minutes later, and she said, hey, Kenny, do you have any leaders that are gold that will commit and be all in to go diamond by the end of the year? And I said, let me think. Most of my leaders are, hey, Lucas. I said, let me think. I've got my leaders who some are, diamond already, some are blue diamond, and no one fit the mix. And then I thought right behind me, sitting with me, was Wilfred and Idalise. And I said, wait, hold on a second. Wilfred and Idalise are like 600 points away from gold, and they want to go for it. So I said, Wilfred, Idalise, come here. And so we went over to a corner of the room, and Elise said, I have 2 spots left. I know you're not quite gold, but if you guys will commit and you guys want to go from basically silver to diamond in 12 weeks, she said, I make you sign a contract. This is totally serious. So you need to be willing to go all out. Then I will give you the last 2 spots if you guys want to do this. And so Wilfred and Idalise signed a contract with Elise Shedevy. They flew back out 2 weeks later, which was last week, and they came in for a 4-day, all-day training with the owners of the company. I had a chance to present. Elise taught a ton, and they basically for 4 days just ate, drank, and slept doTERRA. And so they are going to go literally, think about it. We're in October, right, you guys? October, November, December, in the next, 3 months, in the next 2.5 months, they will go from silver to diamond. Crazy, right? Yeah. And and I know they will do it because they are tenacious. And so because they learned so much during those 4 days, I wanted all of you to benefit from what they have learned. What are the big takeaways? And in the next 45 minutes or so, I wanted you guys to get the highest of the highest training from Elise Shedevy, triple diamond, and Wilfred and Idalise Rosa. So let me do a couple introductions real quick so everybody kind of knows each other. Wilfred and Idalise Rosa they live in San Juan, Puerto Rico, an area that I lived in for about 2 years. When I was a young man, I was actually a missionary for the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, and I served as a missionary there as a young man when I was 19. And love that island and love the people there. And I'm fortunate enough to work with Wilfred and Idalise Rosa, who live on that island, which is awesome. I'll make the introductions. I'm just going up on the squares on Zoom. Okay, you guys know who I am. Shiva Kapoor. Shiva is a new leader for me, but she has been at one time, she has been a silver actually, but she did not have a lot of support. She grew up in India. She now lives in New York, and she waited out her time and had joined our team. She's actually 3 levels down, but I am actually enrolling her now because the leaders right up above her did not have the time. They gave up the enrollment. So Shiva is going to be tenacious. I expect her to grow in the same capacity because she has tasted silver already. And then she has she had to wait a whole year. Talk about patience. She waited out 1 full year, did it the right way, and is now engaged and locked in, and we're going to go crazy with it. John Eric Kavame down below. I feel like we're on the Brady Bunch. Do you guys remember the Brady Bunch? There's a story. No, I'm just kidding. So with all these grids. So John Eric Kavame is my leader. John Eric and his wife, Lynn, lived in Norway for 18 years. Unbelievable leaders. Totally, the epitome of persistence. John Eric is also a founder for the entire continent of Europe. And he's also a diamond in this company as well. So glad he could join us. Then I have Lucas Palandi and his wonderful translator who has been so instrumental over the years in many, many conversations. Lucas, of course, speaks Portuguese. If Wilfred was doing the presentation in Spanish, you could probably understand him perfectly. But we'll rely on your wonderful translator who is kind enough to be there today as well. So Lucas is my enrolled leg in Brazil and is a force to be reckoned with. He is tenacious and has been a fantastic leader. Matthias and Moana Harder have been with me almost from the beginning, out of Germany, but currently living on the island. What's it called, Matthias?
It's one of the Canary Islands. It's the Isle of Tenerife.
Tenerife. Okay.
In the front of Morocco. So geographically, we are in Africa, and from the government here, we belong to Spain.
Perfect. Thank you, and thanks for joining us, Matthias and Moana, this morning. Matthias and Moana are also founders of the entire continent of Europe, which is huge, and they've been with me also almost from the beginning, which has been just awesome. Cecil and Leanna Lee were my very first leaders ever in the history of doTERRA, okay, out of Hong Kong, China. And there's Cecil right there. Hi, Cecil. Cecil is currently in Utah. He lives about half of his time. He and his wife live about half their time now in Utah because they have grandkids. And the grandkids, of course, take priority, right? And he's showing you one of the pictures of one of the grandbabies right there. Hi, buddy. And so Cecil and Leanne are just two of my favorite people in the world. They're awesome friends, and they are engaged in China, but have teams in Malaysia and other parts of the world as well. I introduced So Young already. So Young lives in Seoul, South Korea area. Her father, as I mentioned, is serving as a mission president for the church. And she is kind enough to jump into the middle of the mix of doTERRA. And I want So Young to benefit from this training because she wants to grow the business from where her father is at Platinum and take that to Diamond and beyond. Italy Santiago is on there. That is Wilfred's wonderful spouse. And she was also at the training with Wilfred in Utah last week as well. And then I have my great friend, Milton Marin from Costa Rica. And Milton is a founder of Central America, one of my dearest friends, and an absolutely tenacious leader. Yeah, Blue Diamond, actually, in the company, and is just the most dominating force out in Central America. I mean, he is a force to be reckoned with. He is a social media machine and guru and a wizard in that world as well. In fact, Milton was kind enough a couple of years ago to do a similar meeting like this to teach my frontline leaders. So on this call today, we are represented around the world. All of the teams on this call today are my enrolled legs. And we're missing a few people that couldn't be on this call today, but thank you all for joining. I think you will find the next 45 minutes to be engaging. And again, Wilfred's going from silver to diamond in basically 10 weeks, you guys, 10 weeks. And he's going to tell you how to do it as he's learned from Elise Chedevy. Like I say, Elise had them sign a contract. I mean, we're talking, this is serious business. So without further ado, I turn the time over to Wilfred and Idalise Rosa.
Thank you, Kenny, for the introduction. Do you hear me well?
Yes.
Okay, good. And I'll try to do the best that I can with my accent in English, okay, so that everybody can understand. And try to speak slow. We like to speak fast. My mind is going very fast all the time. So, right. So thank you. I mean, there's a lot of things that we have learned in this last couple of weeks, and surely there's a lot of things that we have implemented already. When Kenny told me about if I'm willing to do share with you guys what we have learned, I told him let's do it on Friday, because then I have like a week since I've been implementing these things, and I can share with you the success that we've been having doing this. So if there's any questions, please let me know. I'm gonna at some point I'll put a whiteboard here so that I can just write down some things. I need my wife Idali, she's there, and she can anytime you can jump in, baby, and correct me if I'm saying something that is not right or anything like that. So yes, as Kenny said, we make a contract to be Code Diamond, and actually after that we decided to go and start. We're silver right now. We're very close to become gold, and but we're trying to raise 4 new legs in these 3 months. Make them silver in these 3 months, each one of them. That's the plan. And we will work with the existing legs, but we are trying to, do it to the next level in a way that we really want to get fresh people into it and things like that. So it's going to be a little harder for us to do that. So first, I think that the first thing that really touched me, something that I was not doing with my teams, especially, was that I stopped recruiting. And this is something you have heard before. We start looking into the existing team that we have and try to help them so much and drag them. And having this trust that somehow, a lighting was going to hit somebody in the head and they're going to start changing their minds and start doing doTERRA. And I think that has been something that really hurt in me and my organization a lot. But something that at least teach from the beginning is you need to have recruiting time. Like if there's anything you do in doTERRA, you have to do recruiting. And if you want to do like regular, you're going to do good in doTERRA, you do 1 hour a day recruiting. If you want to do great rank advancements, you do 2 hours a day. And you don't have to do 2 hours like in a row. It could be like you do 1 hour in the morning, then 1 hour in the afternoon. You can jump in the times. Doesn't have to say, you don't have to do like 9 a.m. every day if you don't want. But she said, if you do it like this, and then you turn off your cell phones and you make a commitment that you will do full hour to find people, that's it. You will find the people. And this goes with the, I don't know if this happens to you, but when my wife, we got 3 kids, every time she's been pregnant, I've been seeing like all these pregnant women everywhere. Like I walk in the street and I saw a pregnant woman. Everywhere that I go, I saw pregnant people. It's because our minds are set to ignore a lot of things that we can see. We can process a lot of, when we can see a lot of things, but the mind can only process certain, a little bit of them. And when you're focused on things, those are the things that the minds are going to be looking at. If we focus ourselves to look for leaders, like they said, an hour, just doing that, we're going to start finding them. And the thing what happened is that it's been happening to us during this week is that I might not find anybody on that hour, but I found people, in other times, like I've been talking to somebody or people call me or somebody, in Facebook, looking into Facebook, boom, another leader shows up and we can identify it and go for it. So the first thing is that all of us, if we want to keep growing the doTERRA or maintaining our business, we need to separate time to recruiting. Like that's something that you could never stop. And again, if there's only one thing we can do in doTERRA is recruiting. The rest we can do it later on. Kenny, you gonna say something?
Yeah, let me just add something. What Wilfred's saying, I will say, I just want to echo that I think a lot of times what happens is as people start growing in doTERRA, they stop recruiting. And what Wilfred's sharing there, I was at that same session where Alice Shedeby said, yeah, she would lock herself in the room for 2 hours and say, she'd tell her husband, do not let me come out of here. Do you hold me accountable? I am not leaving. And she said one time she had to go to the bathroom really bad. And she came out and her husband says, hey, you're not supposed to be out. And he said, okay, I'm adding time to your, it was so funny because her point was she didn't eat, she didn't drink anything. She focused for 2 hours straight, no interruptions, to just recruiting every single day. Can you imagine what would happen if each one of us would spend 2 hours, no matter what rank we are, 2 hours every single day, 5 days a week, 10 hours, just recruiting new people? But that is what Wilfred's saying there with that dedication. Elise Chedevi holds herself highly accountable to the point where as if she goes to the bathroom, she adds on that time to her 2 hours because it is a dedicated 2 hours. I just wanted to add that to what you're saying, Wilfred.
Yeah, thank you, Kenny. And to share my experience, like we have been doing this now this is our 5th day doing it. And we have found more than 12 leaders that are looking for business. Like they want to do business. There's not like product users, no. People that are solid people that we thought about them before for so long. And now they just, we got them, we got the time to talk to them and they're on it. So, I can say that it really works. I cannot imagine, after 3 months of doing only this, how much can we grow? Okay. So that's the first thing that I kind of came up from me. And something that we also miss in our team is like holding people accountable, right? Because this is a business that, does not require a lot of money of entry. Like the monthly cost or overhead is very low. People just kind of like play with it a little bit. Like, it's not going to hurt if I don't do anything, or if I don't make it to gold this month or to platinum or to, it isn't going to hurt that much. I got the money. So I'm so forth. That happens a lot. So having people accountable is something very special. And one of the things that we're doing now, it's every time that we sign a leader, somebody that's going to be in our front line, we had a contract for them. And we can share the contract with you, Kenny, that we prepared. But there's a contract that we have with that leader. In that contract, we put in writing, especially, and we put what we're expecting from them, what they can expect from us. And one of the clauses is like, hey, we know life happens. And if you, in the time you decided not to keep growing the business or run out, you have to be willing to give us your spot so that we can put somebody back there. So since the beginning, that person knows that that's the expectations. And that also, and we also put in there some kind of other commitments in times and things that they're going to be doing with us. Because, when we just sign somebody, sometimes, most of the time we feel like we're begging people to jump with us. And be in our team, like, come and see, you'll see this is a great opportunity. But in this way, we just tell them, look, this is going to be amazing for you, but this is my requirements. If you want to join me, with me, this is what I expect from you to do it. And that's kind of like make it different, right? Make it different because they're looking for more work. So, we, the other thing is, like, for example, sometimes we don't prepare or a map, like a roadmap. I want to become, like, for example, I want to become diamond, right? I need to see where I'm at in points, right? How far away I am in leaders, in points, and what do I need to do to get there? Because if I can see it, then I can make it happen. If I don't see it, like if I don't know, I need 4 leaders that I've been doing that, so I need 12 elites to do this, and who are these people that I can make elites, and the elites need this. We need to try to make that in a way that we fully understand what's needed, so that we can make it happen. Because what we have been doing in the past, me and my wife, is just, we want to become diamonds. Yes, I know what a diamond is for that. We need four leaders, 4 silvers leaders, and that's it. But we didn't have a plan. Okay, how do we help them to become silvers? What needs to be done? Like, for example, we take it down now into kits. I need these people to enroll 5 people with Aroma Essentials kits, for example. So we get into that details, so that, because if we can see it, then we can make it. It will be easier because we know we have a plan how to do it or how to make it happen. So we get the contract. We get the people a plan. So what do they need? And we ask the leaders for a calendar. hey, I want to work with you. You need to show me your calendar. What's your doTERRA calendar? How it looks like? What do you be doing? Like, what are you going to be doing in the next couple of months? Or what's your plan, right? Tell me a calendar, because if we don't have a calendar, as we know, life happens. Like, there's so many priorities in life. Like, and it could be very easy just to say, yeah, I gotta go. I mean, let's say we are setting the recording time and somebody calls in, somebody gives us a call. I mean, your mom call you or your son, whatever, to do something. Like, if you are in the regular job, I mean, you can, I mean, I'm working. Like, you say, oh, I'm working, I cannot go. But because we're doing doTERRA from home, then it's easier just to quit and stop what you're doing and go and do that. So we did a calendar where we just set apart that time and keep it there. So part of that calendar, it's that is, how do you set that? The plan for the day. We design, at least design, and that's something we've been using.
Daily schedule.
Yeah, daily schedule. Yes, the daily schedule. It will look like this. I will do the whiteboard now. See if that works for you guys.
As Wilfred's bringing this up, I just want to mention that, you know, the thing I love about this is, you know, we all say things like, well, I want to be this rank, but it really is mapping out an actual plan. It's not enough just to say you want to be that, but coming up with step-by-step plans. How are you going to do it? Who are your leaders? What are their points? How many people are you going to sign up? This is critical to the plan.
Okay. Okay, now can you see the whiteboard? Yeah, okay, good. Okay, I'll try to do this. My pencil doesn't want to work. I'll do it with my finger. Okay. So like the daily, like this is how a daily plan will look like, the ones that we're doing now with Elise. Because Elise kind of became our mentor, direct mentor. So we're reporting to her directly. So this is how it looked like. We got to do, like, every day we do what we call a morning. Oh man, it's not working as I want it. Let's do this then. It's a morning routine. Okay. And what we do here is, for example, we take spiritual, right? Development. And this is like, you take time. If you believe in God, you pray, take a little, I mean, you wake up in the morning and you do that, and you use a, I mean, just went in the morning and express things, right? That's something that it was very important for us. And that's something that we put together, right? We do that. And then you do also, as part of it, you do exercise. Okay. And you can do exercise in the afternoon, but that's how we do it right now. And it's a typo, and sorry about that, Kenny. Don't judge me for that. I can do way better in Spanish than English, but okay, that's the morning routine. So what we'll do is, in the morning, this is what we'll do during the day. Morning routine first, and then we put, okay, right now this is my schedule: 2 hours recruiting people, okay? And then you need to put here 2 additional things that you will do during the day for doTERRA. It could be like an oil class, right? It could be business presentation to a new leader, right? It could be, I mean, preparing a presentation or giving actual presentation to somebody. And what you do is, in the morning, what we need to do, we have a group, and we have that now with our team too, and we call that accountability group. What we do in the morning, we send this text message to everybody like this, with this. Well, and this is the expectation for us for this day, for today, for example. And we have to send this out before 10 a.m. in the morning. Before 10 a.m. in the morning, we send this out to everybody. Everybody sees what I'm going to be doing today. Like, for example, today, what I did today was I had at 9 a.m. I have a meeting with the lady who runs the office of doTERRA in Chile, because I have a leader in Chile that I'm working with right now. So I had that meeting with them. And then I had another meeting before this one. And now I've also put that I'm going to have this meeting on it. And then before 10 p.m. at night, I need to report before 10 p.m. if I do it 10:01, I'm out of the group. I cannot be in the group. Or I can be like we can put yourself in a kind of like a probation stage where you will just try to do better, because in this way we put this into formality to the members of your team. So at the end of the day, we need to report this back, say, no, I did this, I did my morning routine, whatever it is your routine, you do it, and then you do, yeah, I did the 2-hour recording if that's your plan, and then I did the class, I talked to somebody, I did the business presentation, and you come back in the afternoon and send that back to the team. And why do we do this? Because we want to be held accountable. Because if we're not, then let's say, I mean, we forgot to do something, we didn't do it, we don't push to it. Because for example, if I say at 11 a.m. I was going to reach out and talk to this new leader, and then the person canceled me, I try to push myself to at least look for somebody else to do it, to talk to somebody else. And then I can just put that, yeah, this one person canceled me, but I did this other thing. And in this way, we hold ourselves accountable, and then we can just push and make sure that we're actually doing something. Because at the end of the day, we all need action. We all need some kind of something have to be happening. And I found myself in the past, after 3 days, haven't done anything with doTERRA at all. Like probably working in some presentations here and there, but not doing a lot of job, like a big job. Okay. Any questions with this? Okay, we're fine. Okay.
I have a question.
Yes.
I wanted to check with you about the first point about the always recruit. I have done that in past, but it was not. I mean, I don't want to say not helpful. Where do you find right? I know right kind of a people in social media, or maybe you go reach out to people individually, unknown people. What is the right way of recruiting? If I'm correct in making this, I don't know if I'm able to make you understand what I'm trying to ask you.
Okay, yeah. We can, I mean, during this 2 hour of that hour of recruiting, you can use your own strategy. And that can include that you talk to somebody in the phone too. And it took you half an hour talking to the person, right? But that's a time that you set apart to do that. So for social media, I mean, Milton is here. Milton is very good in social media. What I've been doing is try to reach out to people that also you have, like people have on Facebook, like a huge list of friends on Facebook, and people that you have not connected with them, like for many years sometimes. So you start liking people, right? Liking and commenting in their posts so that you can start having that kind of relationship back. But also you need to identify who do you want for your business. So you can look for people that are not in your friends list, and you can decide that in this hour, I'm gonna not just go to Facebook to just, look to waste time. We just want to look into Facebook to look for leaders. And we just try to identify who these people that are not on your friend list, but that you think, that you believe that they might be a good fit for your organization, people that you can be your partners in the business. And you start, you get a friend request or start following them and start making those kind of contacts with them. And you can, if you do that, like, what I'm doing, I'm separating like half an hour to do that, to go into Facebook and Instagram and looking for the people that I want on my organization and liking their messages and starting to following them so that I can start having a relationship with them. New people that I don't know who they are and they don't know me either.
Wilfred, can I jump in for just a minute?
Yeah.
So all of my leaders have been found in 3 ways: direct contacts, referrals, and social media. Wilfred was a referral for me. Shiva, you came by the way of, well, kind of referral, but really through another line, right? That I knew. Matthias and Juana were referrals. Cecil Lee and Leanna, I knew them. Don Chol, I got to know him. Milton, I think Milton was a total random thing. I'll get into that later, but I almost consider it more social media, the way I found Milton. So all of my leaders have come in different ways. But the one thing I want to mention is this, about 6 months ago, I felt, man, who else have I not approached? And Wilfred and I happened to be on a Tony Robbins motivational leadership class. While Tony Robbins was speaking, it was a Zoom call because of the pandemic. I went through all the Zoom rooms and wrote down people's names that I thought looked sharp, that looked like leaders. I then sent out a message to them on Facebook. Hi, my name is Kenny Anderson. I'm an international business consultant for a multi-billion-dollar healthcare company, and I travel the world looking for top leaders. I noticed we were both on this leadership class. I would love to visit with you. Well, in about 4 months, I signed up about 8 people by just randomly getting on a call and writing down new names. There is no limit. There is no, if you guys reach out and contact new people and you're working with social media, referrals, and direct contacts, you will never in the next 10 years ever run out of new people. Never. If you feel like you've run out of new people, open your imagination to new ideas, because there are, I mean, in about 2 weeks, I reached out to 250 new people that I had never talked to ever before. There are 7 billion people on the planet. You will never run out of new people.
Thank you, Kenny. Thank you, Wilfred.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay. So now the other thing that we work on it a lot is looking into the organization. And I put this here. It's like, I mean, this is, let's say this is you here at the top. You can see this, right? And then you have like your 3, let's say you have 3 leaders, right? And one of the biggest mistakes that we commit, I mean, most of the time, like go for it, is that we put here people that are not CCs. They're not committable. They're not capable and committed. Okay. And what does it mean to be capable and what does it mean to be committed? For example, to somebody that is capable is somebody that is, how do you say that word, Kenny? Resourceful, like somebody that I will look for the own resolutions. I will look to find solutions for things by himself, right? And somebody that is committed is somebody that do what they say that they're going to be doing, okay? If they say that they're going to do something, they'll do it. And if they say they're going to work with you, they work with you. They're going to say they're going to recruit people, they recruit people. But the thing is that most of the time we cannot find these leaders that have the both C's, right? And what happened is, like, we put somebody here, for example, that it is committed, probably. Let's text. Somebody that it is committed. I don't know what's going on with my pencil. If we put people here that are not CCs, what happened is that you have a leader here in your front line, right? Let's see if I can get this, because I already did this. Let's say we have some. I don't know what's going on with my computer. It doesn't want me to let me draw. Okay. Let's say you have somebody in your front line that it is not capable and committed, and then you find somebody else and you put it underneath, right? What's going to happen is this person underneath has a contact with you, not with them, right? And this person down here could be capable and committed, but now this person is going to be looking for you, right? Asking you questions, asking you about how to do this, the other thing, asking you for plans, and you're helping these people here. And let's say you do, and you keep building these legs for this leader that is not capable and committed. And now you have in the bottom 9 people that are reaching out to you because the leader that I have in top is not capable and committed. And now you're doing, and let's say that you multiply that. So now basically, in this case, you're in the league doing a work of a diamond, for example, or a platinum, because you got all these people, all these 9 people in the bottom going to you for questions and answers and different, I mean, different things asking you, but you're not getting paid as you should, because you're helping 9 people to grow their business, but you're getting, you're in lead. And that's something I think that for myself, this is something that we did this everywhere. Like me and my wife, we did this everywhere. So that's one of the reasons that I'm building from zero. And I'm not really going to work out with the existing group. I'll help them, but I'm looking for new leaders so that I make sure that I put CCs, capable and committed leaders, in top. Now, you can say, oh, how can you do that? How can I know that somebody is capable and committed? Because this is going to be difficult. It is difficult to find that out. So what they have done is there's this let's say they ask you to put together a soccer team, right? But they all have the best soccer team in the world, but all these boys have 9 years old. How do you know that a 9-year-old will become a big soccer player, in the future? And that's sometimes how we feel with leaders, right? We get a leader, we don't know how those people are going to perform later on. So what they've been saying is, during these 13 years in doTERRA, there are certain characteristics that the people that go to Diamond have. It doesn't mean that they have to have them, but most of them have them. Okay. And what I will do is I will share those. I will send an email to Kenny so Kenny can share it with you, all of you, those 7 characteristics. But maybe at least you can help me, because I don't know why I don't have it in front of me right now. But the first one is that most of the time it's got to be a woman. And what you would do is, when you put the list of your prospects, you have this like a spreadsheet where you're gonna give points to them. Okay. And let's say you say, okay, I found Kenny Anderson here, and I'm gonna give Kenny now points based on this 7 characteristics, because if he has most of these points, that means that there will be more possibilities that Kenny, when he become older, he will be a great soccer player. But the same thing here with doTERRA. If this person has these characteristics, boom, you can have them, they can grow the business. One of them is they have to be a woman. They have to be into natural things. The group age from 30 to 55. Doesn't mean that you're above 55, you will not make it. That doesn't mean that, okay? But I'm trying to give you that range so that you can know. They have to be into natural things. Has to have a spouse that support them. That is, what's the other one that I'm missing? I'm missing another one. And I'm sorry that I wasn't ready now.
Money. They need money.
Yeah.
They are looking for money.
Yeah, money oriented. Yeah, money oriented. Okay. And I'll send this characteristics to you. But now, let's say you have somebody that is a man that might not have, is single, doesn't have those characteristics. How can I know it's a person? Because let's say, this person already is into business. I know he does great, but how do I know that he's going to be committed for me? So you know that we have 14 days. So what we'll do now is, during those 14 days, we will give them assignments, right? We'll say, okay, you want to join my team? Because during those 14 days, you can move them around wherever you want in your organization, okay? So let's say you give them something like, hey, prepare a list of 100 names, or prepare a class. In a week, I want you to have 5 people to talk to me about the business. And if this person can find 5 people and get into a class with you, then you know that he's committed, okay, and also capable. And now that's somebody that you want to put in your front line. I know that Kenny used another strategies, right? And he has, but they're kind of related to this, right?
Yeah. One thing that I'll mention is, I know a lot of people sign people up right away when they got them in front of them. I've been a little bit different this way. I think even with each of you, I didn't sign you up right away because I was trying to determine, will you be a product user only, or will you be a product user and a business builder? I think I took maybe 2 or 3 months to sign up Milton. I'm looking over each of you here. Thea Samwana, we talked on the phone for a while first. They came to a convention in Austria. So one thing that I do that's maybe a little bit different is I build that relationship, and I don't sign people up until I think they are committed, by the way, because what I don't want to do is make a mistake in the structure and have somebody that maybe is not going to be capable and committed and put them on my front line. So I take sometimes days, sometimes weeks, sometimes months before I sign somebody up to make sure they're capable and committed, because each one of those frontline generals, what I call them, needs to be self-sufficient, able to maintain their team, because otherwise, like Wilfred's saying, instead of going presidential diamond and finding 6 good leaders, now you're having to work with 36 leaders and build their teams. There's not enough time to do that. You need to have each one of those leaders needs to be capable and committed. And even if it takes weeks or months to figure that out before you sign them up, I think that's okay.
Correct.
Yeah. Because what happens is that you're gonna build on with product users or sharers, and that's a nightmare. And I lived there many times, so that's a nightmare. And then people hold you, right, Kenny? They can hold you and do those kind of things, and we don't want to do that. Yep. So the other thing is like the somebody's in the chat here. The other thing is, oh yeah, good, Matthias. Yeah, I saw that text. So the other thing would be is like, don't feel bad if you don't have CCs, because most of the diamonds only have one in doTERRA. Most of the diamonds in doTERRA only have one CCs, but we will do way better if we have CCs, more CCs in our front line. We'll do way better than we do now, because that means that you got to put more work into it. Okay. So one of the other mistakes that we kind of go through it is that we put family in the front line, right? That's something that happens to all of us, because that's a long hanging fruit. Somebody that will say yes because you're family, and you put it in the front line. That could be good if you're clear with them that if they don't perform, you can switch them to somebody else. So you can have somebody there like a placeholder, as it's called. And then when you find a very good leader, then you can put it there and you can build that team if you want. But that's a big mistake that we also make here. The other thing is in this allocation, it's the location itself. Like, for example, I'm in Puerto Rico. And if I find leaders in Puerto Rico, I want to put everybody here together. But I'm working with people in Dominican Republic, in Chile too. We got people in Colombia, and I'm looking for some of these states in the United States. And if, let's say, I have somebody that it is very good that live in Chicago, I don't want to put them in the team that for the people that are in San Juan here with me, right? Because that's not going to help at all with different things. Like, for example, if there's an event, this person is going to be like, this person is always going to feel like he's out of it, because we'd be doing events here in Puerto Rico. He's not part of it. Doesn't feel part of it. So then relationships goes above location. For example, you have a family member that lives in the USA, but you have another one that live in Russia, for example. Is way better to put them together, because what happened is that they know family together. They're gonna reach out to family themselves, and you don't want them to compete with each other. Even though they live far away, relationship comes first than location. In that, if that's the case, okay. Now, we're gonna teach our teams whatever whatever makes duplication. Okay. What I'm saying with this is, you can have your own strategy on how to find leaders, on how to look for them and how to get them. And it could be that my strategy will be very attached to my being, like how I am, like how I like to talk to people one-on-one. Okay. And this is my way, this is my strength. I know if I do that, it will be better for me. But most of the people in my team might not have the same strength. Okay. And sometimes we try to teach to others what worked for us, but not necessarily what worked for us is something that is duplicatable, right? People, if you cannot duplicate that, then it doesn't make a lot of sense. So you do what works, but also in this business, we have to do whatever they can duplicate. Because if they cannot duplicate that, then is a sad. We're in a sad environment. At least for what Alice is saying, I haven't built big in other countries, but in the United States, for example, it's way better to give people samples of the product first, so they can try them, and then we talk to them and sign them up. I don't know how it is in other countries, but Alice is saying that this is what she's been doing everywhere in the world, and this is what works the best, right? So we find people, and we basically sample them the product so they can have an experience already with the product, and then we help them see how the oils in this case will help them in their life, and that's how we send them up. Okay. But in terms of looking for leaders, then you need to find out your own strategy on that. I would say that the best strategy right now that I know is separating time, a specific time frame to do it in your own way, but just commit to that time. And if you want to do it through Facebook, if you want to do it through Instagram, if you want to do it through phone calls, direct contacts, it's your call, but you need to have that time separated. You cannot postpone that or do something else or not doing it, because otherwise it's not going to work. Okay. Let's see. There are some things that I love that I took out. that I want to share now. It's more like things that I use to grow my, I mean, in my mindset and to grow myself is like, act the way you want to feel, and soon you will feel the way you act. Okay. That's something that really touched me, because right now, I mean, we've been struggling being silvers for a while. And so I feel like, yeah, I want to, you know, I really want to grow. I mean, how I'm being so successful in other businesses and why I'm struggling with doTERRA, why doTERRA is becoming like kind of the thing that I thought was going to be easier, and it's not going easier. So what I'm trying to do now in the mornings as part of my routine is just trying to believe that I can do it. Yes, I can do it. It's going to be easy. I can make it happen, right? And try to also always be grateful, because that's, if I am in that state, when I talk to some other people, other leaders, they will feel that state from me. But if I'm coming from the state like, you know what, I don't know if that's going to work or not. I mean, doTERRA is not, I mean, it's not fulfilling my expectations, then it's going to be harder, right? It's going to be harder to sell that feeling, because at the end of the day, what we're selling to other people is emotions, right? When they see me talking, and we all have been reached out by Kenny, right? And something that I like about Kenny is his attitude, right? Oh man, excited about the opportunity. And that's and I feel like that. And I mean, when we're having a conversation with two people, there's always a tendency to go, somebody's gonna go to the state that the other person is, right? Somebody will draw the other one to that state. Let's say that I feel like very happy, and the other person is very sad, or I mean, how do you say that? Depressed, or negative. So somebody's gonna draw the other person to that state. Okay, just make sure that you drag them to your state, that you don't go to their state, because people is gonna start saying, yeah, you know what, I don't know, network marketing, you know, MLM, that's not the right thing. I mean, this is a bad company. That's always, I mean, I don't know, you guys are, I mean, you're full of it. I don't know. So just be careful that you don't fall into this state. You become stronger, right? And in order for you to become stronger, you need to have some kind of routine during the day that helps you to stay in that state. Okay. Like, for example, right now I'm in my peak state because we've been recruiting people and people are saying yes, right? And I got that momentum now that people saying yes, and oh yeah, this is the time, and I feel happy about it. So I'm committed. I'm sending this energy, right, to these people. But there will be times where people are gonna say no, or I end up having that success. And if I get that with me, when I talk to somebody, it will be way easier for me to go to their state or even drag them to that bad state. Okay, does that make sense? Good. Okay. So you have to choose to be a positive, excited person. Okay, and this is a decision we make, because life hit all the time, and I mean, things happen. I mean, health, and I mean, there's many things that happen in life that can take down that state. What I do for that is, like, every one of us, you don't know this, but every one of us, we make expectations, right? We make rules. We say, okay, if this happens today to me, I'll be happy. And you don't know this, but we make rules for those things, right? If this happens to me, I'll be happy. What I try to do is, normally what we will do is we have very low expectation to be happy. Very high expectation to be happy, which, I mean, when somebody said no to you, we're trying to share something where your spouse are not doing what you want, or your kid, or, I mean, you have a flat tire, or there's traffic. All those, you got some, well, normally we have so many things that triggers that unhappy state that is way easier for us to get into the downside state. So what I would do is I make that bar very high. Like, say, okay, in order for me to not feel happy, I have to violate my morals with my wife, something like that, right? Something that I know I would never do, right? Or to my kids. So if all these other things that during the day could happen to us happen, finally shows up, that doesn't mean that I'm not bad. And the other thing that I said is I have to learn from this. And if I don't learn from something, then I'll be unhappy. I'll feel like I waste my time. So let's say I talk to somebody today and they say, no, Wilfred, I'm not interested. I will look to the things that I told them, my wording, everything, how I did my approach. If I if they drag me to their state or not, if I let me drag or no, and then I evaluate myself there, boom, I learned something. Even though they say no, I learned something. So then I'm feeding my mind saying, yeah, you learned, we're happy, man, we're still happy. So I make it very, very, very hard for me to be sad. Very, very hard. Like it has to be like that very bad, like I mean, failing my wife in my moral standards to feel bad. Anything below that, oh, I'm happy. I'm learning from it. Okay. The other thing is with our teams, we have to be honest with the teams. Like if we said that we're gonna do something, we have to do it. Like there's time we said, okay, team, we're gonna do this. We're gonna have weekly meetings at my time, and then we stop doing it. Because I mean, you don't know that, but that's the message we're telling them. Yeah, you don't have to commit to your things. That you can stop. You can quit anytime. That's okay. Nobody's gonna look for you. That's okay. Nobody's been looking for you. Doubt increases with inaction. Like when we start recruiting people, then we start having doubts if we're capable of it or not. So that's why we have to put action on it. So inaction will bring doubts to ourselves. An activity brings belief. And right now I'm experiencing that because I've been pushed to do a lot of activities because of my goals. And I have seen that because I'm working hard, I have my belief on doTERRA and on the opportunity of the business is very high right now. And it's because I'm having activity. And I have spent times when I'm not doing much and that my belief just kind of went down, right? I don't know if any of you have felt that way, but that happens a lot. That's something we learn a lot from the training. Okay, so now to finish, because I know we're up to the hour, I don't want to take more time. Let's have fun in the business. Something that I learned during this week is that we can have so much fun and we can put together so many strategies. Like for example, we can do oil. I mean, we can do oils studies, which we have done before. I don't know if any of you knows what they are, but oil studies, have done them. They're very nice. I love them. That really get the team and other people to reach out in a way that they don't feel like, oh, I'm pushing my boundaries here to find somebody. No, they feel better. They feel more comfortable, more sweet, more smooth to contact other people. You can do that. You can do promotions with your team, and you can do small competitions. For example, we're telling people, hey, if we got our teams, if we hit 200 this month in PP, we're gonna get this to you, or we're gonna do a like a lottery thing. If you do 200 points, we'll do a lottery and we get you this nice kit or this other present to you. So those kind of strategies are good to be done during the month, and especially when you're trying to rank events. And if you know that you need to hit some kind of goals, it's good to have this kind of strategies on minds. And I mean, we can talk to so many of them. Like you can have, like, for example, you can reach out to Kenny or the upline, somebody else, and have them join in that month into a meeting. We can do oil studies. Enrollment strategy could be, hey, I'll pay you double fast start. If you enroll this person, we'll give you double fast start to you. Those kind of things you can think about it, and you can do them if you want to. You can do like an exclusive training with some of the people in your team. If you become elite, you have a exclusive mentoring with me for a couple of weeks, for a month, a week, whatever it is. Okay. Then what we always suggest is we told is that have a weekly oil class, which is a continuing education class. Because I know we talk about leaders, but the product users are very important. It's 85% of the business is product users, and we want them committed to do the orders every month. And with that oil class or continuing education, we make sure that the people are learning from the products and they know how to use them and they can incorporate them in their regular lives. Okay, and having that meeting in a week and having business meetings with the team, that's something that has to be done or has to take place. So this were like the biggest things. There are many other things, but it will take 3 days for me to share everything. So I think like having that daily routine is very important. And that's the big of everything that I learned, of everything I share with you today. that routine has keeping us like very committed to our goals. Like, I'm going to be doing this, and you can share this with your team, with your leaders, and have them commit with you. And we didn't have any contracts before with our leaders, and we send like contracts on Monday. I say, we know that we did not put this together at the beginning, but we want to do it now. Who wants to join? And the ones who want to join, they join, and they sign the contract. And now we have their contract, we have the commitment, and they're working on it. I mean, they've been sending out their schedules and replying back before 10 p.m. at night. So any questions, any comments, please?
So Wilfred, put us back on the grid where everybody's in there, or off the white screen. Just a minute.
Yeah, I'll do that right now.
And if anybody has any question, then I want to just comment for 5 minutes, because really, really great information. Does anybody have any immediate questions? Well, while you might be thinking of something, let me just say this. First of all, I want to really tell Wilfred and Idalise, thank you for being willing to spend their time to get on this call. I really admire, I mean, I'll tell you this. Elise challenged these guys the first day. Well, I'm sorry, the first week into their program. They challenged Wilfred here. He came to convention from Puerto Rico. He came back 2 weeks later for this leadership class. And then Elise just challenged him to find 20 people buy into Utah again next week for a third time, that are capable and committed people. And so I really hats off to Wilfred and Idalise, not only for being willing to train all of us today, but also for their commitment. And they've gone from a 4 to a 10, hair on fire, to just, I mean, they are engaged. I mean, I wanted you to see this today because you will, by the end of December, they will be diamond. I have absolutely zero question. And they will go from silver to diamond in a 12-week period of time, you guys, because of the things that he's talking about. I just want to mention, well, first of all, let's see, there's a question on there. Wilfred, you can maybe address that. Oh, could we see you sniper gun? I think you're talking about the sniper approach, Matthias, for recruiting. You know, I always tell people, is that what you're talking about, Matthias?
Yes, that's the question.
Yeah, so Matthias is referring, you guys have got to know my little terms and labels that I have over the time, but I always tell people there's 2 ways to recruit. There's the machine gun approach where you're approaching everybody in the grocery store, you're approaching everybody wherever you are. And then there's the sniper approach. And what Matthias is referring to is, I have been very calculated in my choice of leader. I've been very like a sniper, you know, I target somebody, boom, leader. I've been very targeted, very calculated. Every single one of you on this call, it's so fun for me to see you because I have such a history and a story with every single person on this call. I love it. And it came from very targeted, very purposeful connections with each of you because of what I saw and because of what I knew you could do. And honestly, this is so fun for me. In fact, as I get on here today, I would love to maybe once a month or once every other month, I would love to have a brainstorming session with all the top leaders. I mean, look, on this call, we've got India represented, we've got Puerto Rico represented, Norway, Brazil, Germany, Costa Rica, China, Korea. I mean, we have some serious brain power on this call. I don't want to hold you guys much longer, but let me just say this. First of all, special thanks to Wilfred and Idalise. Thank you for being willing to take the time to tell us this. I just want to end with 5 takeaways that I came away with from Wilfred's meeting today. Milton, it's good to see your face.
Thank you.
And so these are the 5 takeaways. And what's really neat about doTERRA, as I've heard Wilfred talk about what he learned from Elise Chedevi, I see a lot of similarities of things that I didn't know Elise did that she does. And I learned some great things too, but I just want to end with 5 takeaways from this meeting today. Number 1, balanced life. I'm a huge advocate of a balanced life. Wilfred started off with a morning plan. Every day, I have 5 areas of my life that I try to keep in line: faith, relationships, personal development, health, and resources, which is the management of time and money. Again, faith, relationships, personal development, health, resources, management of time and money. So first takeaway, keep your life in balance and you will feel better, you'll do better. Number 2, one of the best things I learned from that meeting when I went with Elise, 2 hours of dedicated, solid recruiting every single day, 5 days a week, 2 hours dedicated, brand new calls, brand new leaders every single day. Lock yourself in your room. Don't come out. If you come out, add it to your time, but focused, dedicated, 2 hours of contacting. I think that is the biggest thing, the greatest pearl that I took away was 2 hours every day. If you do that, you're going to find a ton of leaders, and you can find those leaders. Shiva, you had a great question about leaders. You can find leaders in lots of different ways: direct contacts, referrals, social media. There is an unlimited amount of leaders that we can contact. Okay. Number 3, capable and committed. I love how Elise phrases that. There are people that you guys can think of that are capable, but not committed. Some people that are committed, but not super capable. Capable, committed leaders. I look at all of you guys on this Zoom call. You're all capable and super committed. I love it. I love that each one of you, I look on this call and you are just the epitome of those 2 things. 4th takeaway, your energy and attitude is everything. It's totally contagious. If you are positive, your team will be positive. If you are negative and have a bunch of excuses, your team will be negative and have a bunch of excuses. I can't stand excuses. Those of you who know me, I can't stand excuses. And my kids know that too. It's like, listen, all of us can come up with a million excuses for things. All of us can if we really try, right? But the bottom line is results. Leaders find a way to get it done. That's the bottom line. And leaders don't focus on excuses. Leaders focus on results. And if there's a stumbling block, we go over it. If somebody goes over it, we go under it. If somebody covers both sides, we go around it, or we go through it. But leaders find a way. Your attitude and energy is totally contagious. Your team will follow your attitude. Your team will follow your energy. And if you've got that, they will go. Okay. And lastly, I know that Elise has certain attributes that Wilfred will send to me. I'll send it to each of you. I also have always had attributes. And these are the attributes I look for. Number 1, integrity. Number 2, drive. Number 3, committed when you find something really good. Number 4, hearts of gold. People who with success, they do great things. I look at each of you on this screen right now. You are all have hearts of gold. You're all incredibly good, kind, charitable people. I love that. Number 5, resourceful. Leaders find a way. Leaders do not get hung up in the weeds. Leaders do not waste time with excuses or these kind of things. Leaders find a way to get it done. Number 6, let's see, 6, hardworking. Number 7, persistent. And I added a number 8 recently. It's called self-discipline. I look at each of you on here and I love it. I went through, as I watched each of you on this screen, I said, wow, this is awesome. These leaders embody all 8 of those things that I look for. It's so refreshing to me to look at this screen and see that every leader on here has all 8 of those attributes. That's so fulfilling to me, because I didn't even realize until maybe 5 or 6 years in, those were my common denominators for success in doTERRA. Can
I add one more?
Yeah, please go ahead.
Self-motivated.
Self-motivated. And I'll call that.
Because this is from my experience.
I totally agree. Self-motivated, driven, self-disciplined. I totally agree. And each one of you are super autonomous and self-motivated. I love it. I absolutely love it. So again, balance your life. Spend 2 hours of dedicated recruiting every single day. Every day, just lock yourself in the room and do it. Number 3, look for capable and committed leaders. Number 4, your attitude and energy is contagious. And the 5th takeaway were the attributes I explained of integrity, drive, commitment, hearts of gold, resourcefulness, hard work, persistence, and self-discipline. And self-motivated also, what Shiva said is a great attribute. So listen, we went for an hour, a little over an hour. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in all around the world to join us for this. What I'm going to do is I am going to peg each one of you to teach once when we jump on these calls, Zoom calls. This is so fun. This may be one of the funnest calls I've done in 10 years in doTERRA. And I'll tell you why, because I can see each of you. It's so fun for me to see the leaders and to be able to draw and learn from each one of you. I'm going to be pegging each one of you to come on, and we have this brainstorm and this mining of the best practices. So every single person on this call reaches the goals that you have in this company. I want each of you to use doTERRA as a vehicle for better health, financial independence, and more time. More time so you guys can spend with your family, your loved ones, doing things that you love to do. Wilfred, Idalise, thank you so much for teaching. I think they recorded this, so if anybody wants a recording of this to share with your teams or whatever, we can do that. I'm going to be coming after each of you to share your expertise. As I look at each of you, man, it is so fun. Each one of you are so gifted and so talented with your skill set. We are going to rock this place. I'm absolutely pumped. So have a great weekend, you guys, and we'll be back again.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
You guys.
Bye-bye.
Great. Have a good day.